You're listening to the Drum Shed Podcast.
Welcome to the Drum Shed Podcast. Tonight we've got Luis, Filipe.
Yes, correct.
Filipe?
That's it.
And the last part of your name, is that?
Oh, last part is difficult.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Teixeira.
Oh, I wasn't going to get that right. From Grooveco Drums.
Groove Drum Company, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it all wrong today. Groove Drum Company in Portugal. And we've got in my screen, we've also got Aurea. And we're just trying to work out the pronunciation of her name like a couple of years after I've known her.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
So we've got a bit of an international podcast today. So we've got, representation from Portugal and Spain and England. It's like the Eurovision.
Southern Europe.
I've got these here as well.
Oh, that's great.
I also have the Portuguese up there. I don't know if you call it, but I actually have.
Well, do you know what? They're obsessed with the Portuguese, and they can't really. Well, what can we say about that? Maybe you could give us some inside knowledge, Louise. Yeah. So, thank you for coming in tonight. It's quite a late one. Although the thing I found really odd is that we're on the same time zone as Portugal, which I should know because I have been there before. But I went recently, just got back, and it was quite. I was convinced it was an hour ahead because it just always seems to be when you go to Europe. But obviously, when you look at the map, it's a lot further down underneath. So
yeah, that's right.
It makes sense. So how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. We've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the UK drum wise coming up now. It's that kind of time of year when things, everyone's calmed down after summer and things start to get back, and we've got some things to look forward to, events and stuff. How are you, Aurea?
Not bad at all. All good. Yeah.
Have you been playing today?
Yes, when you called me, I was trying to play something. I had all the lights off. I have some candles there, as we discussed last time. And I was like, and then I got a text message like, "Are you free at 9?" And I was like,
Yeah, it was a really last minute. I thought I'd sent the message earlier because I was going to ask Aurea to come in, just to give you a little bit of background about us. I mean. Or me, I'm an amateur drummer that's been amateur forever. Back in the 90s, I probably played a few gigs that were quite decent in bands and stuff, but never really went much further. Went into sort of sound engineering, and then I had to get a proper job and give it all up. And I kind of never gave everything up. I had a few bits left over, and I've never lost the love for drumming, but in the last 20 years, I've been gradually building myself back up and getting obsessed to the stage where I am completely obsessed, and we have a podcast. Aurea and I know each other through Mike's Lessons family group, and that's how we've made quite a few friends in the real world through that sort of online experience.
I started playing drums later, like in 2003, and the thing that made me play the drums, honestly, was that I went to a shop, a musical instrument shop, and bought the Modern Drummer 2003 DVD festival, and then I saw it, and I saw Nathaniel Townsley, and then I went completely crazy with him, obsessed. I love him. It's my main influence. I met him in Portugal in the Rock in Rio Fest, and for me, it was the click to start playing drums more seriously was 2003. Yeah.
And you weren't playing drums before? No, you were playing drums.
No, because I was the bass player of the band.
Oh my God, a bass player drummer.
Then when the drummer just went to the bathroom or something, I look at the drum seat, the drum
That
front.
happens.
I need to go there and play. So I realized that drumming was my thing, not the bass player, but playing bass was a great starting to
Of
understand
course, yeah. The rhythm of
the thing with drummer bass player was great for that.
yeah. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
We all have
it's a great
experienced that.
start.
Going to the toilet, come back, someone in the kid. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I want it back. But in your case, obviously, it was a very
Yeah.
good cause because you
You know,
ended up-
Mike Johnson for me is like it's also like Nathaniel Townsley. For me, I love him so much. We brought him in Portugal to make a clinic a couple of years
amazing.
ago. Yeah, and it was an amazing day with an amazing person. I've made him a snare drum.
Yeah, we know. We
Uh,
saw it.
Oh,
yeah,
He showed
yeah,
us.
oh,
yeah.
really? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true.
And if I could, I would send him all the kids that I make because I
But
love him so much.
I had the privilege this year of spending a whole week with him because I went to the camp.
Yeah.
So I completely recommend it. He does camps as well, so you don't need to go to my level. But it was
Yeah.
just amazing. It's just having it for yourself. For
I believe that
with
he
your
has
age older, so
everyone has its thing. My thing is making drums. Another guy is playing drums, and I believe that Mike is teaching and passing information. I believe he is
100%.
the drum god of learning drums, of
Exactly. I
teaching
think
drums.
it's the
Yeah.
guru of education, I think.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's very, very passionate about it.
Do you remember the first videos of him playing against the wall, like in 2000?
Yes,
I don't
it's
know.
in YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still in YouTube. I
with the
think you can find
DW
it. Yeah, yeah.
against the wall, the bass drum against the wall. That's where I
Yes.
started watching him, and now seeing
Wow.
his way till now is amazing.
So we're gonna hopefully catch up with him in the UK drum show in Liverpool
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in a month's time.
He'll be there. I mean, yeah. I mean, the Mike Johnson effect is
Yeah,
it's like some kind of bug, you know.
it's the bug. Yeah,
Some kind of, I won't say disease because that's bad, but
yeah,
some kind of bug that you catch. And my son and I were sort of stumbled across Mike Johnson during COVID when we were sitting next to each other, you know, on the sofa or what have you, watching YouTube, and like watching his videos, education videos, plus he's driving around to drum shops picking up drums, snare drums with a mask and all that during COVID. I just found the energy and the passion infectious. And the thing that I've always had this issue with learning is that if I feel that it's not fun, or if I feel that it's not inspiring, or if I feel that it's not achievable, and that you're not welcome unless you can commit 1,000,000 hours a day, then I kind of shut. I don't interact. I don't engage with that. And with Mike, it was, this guy can't be this happy, surely. I mean, this guy
yeah,
can't be this upbeat and this good at what he's doing, because it seems to be too good to be true. To be fair, but actually, after seeing him on YouTube and then going to the UK drum show, and watching him on stage, on the main stage, as well as in the education room, that was a couple of years ago. And I went up and met him afterwards and got, a picture, had to say hello to him and all that sort of thing. And that was before I was 50. I'm 53, so yeah, it was 3 years ago. And then for my 50th, decided that was going to be I was going to join,
yeah,
as a turning point in, instead of just messing about, I'm going to focus a bit more. I have fallen off the log a little bit because I do mess about too much still, and I've been messing about tonight on a track. But I'm much more focused and inspired because of his site, his group of other people that we've all met as well, because we've all pushed each other along and support each other. So I think it's a really,
yeah,
and I get that much more than Drumeo. I don't want to say that about Drumeo, but I found with I'm not being negative to Drumeo, but I find that the connection with Mike is much more one-to-one personal.
Yeah, that's
And
right. Yeah,
you don't expect it, do you? And yet you do actually get it.
yeah.
Um,
He
I-
inspires us as for drumming, for life, for anything. I remember that. And the funny story is that he went here in 2015, and I started the drum company in 2015, and he was the first guy to play my number one kit.
right. Zero
What
zero
a
one.
thing to be able to say.
Yeah. So we have a story together about that, and I have a video of him playing. I was so proud. Look, my first kit, and this guy is playing this kit so good. So it was a great day. I will never forget that day. I will never forget it.
No, I bet.
So when did you started making drums? What year?
2015.
So literally in the
Yeah.
first year you got a drum kit
Yeah.
made. How
I
did you
just
learn?
I left college in 2008, and I knew that I want to have a business. And in 2009, I decided to open Groove It Up Drum Shop. That is my drum shop that is still exists today, a little bit differently because I worked all the brands, Yamaha, Zildjian,
Yeah.
Tama, Pearl, everything, and now I'm just connected to my own brands, but selling also drum heads and drumsticks and all of that. But in 2009, I opened the drum shop, working online only. I was the first guy in my country making videos about things with a old camera, awful. And then I just grew up. In 2011, I opened my first physical shop, my physical location. And in 2013, I opened an even larger shop. But then I made my better sales year in 2019 before the COVID. So when COVID appeared in 2020, I just went to the ground like a rocket. So
Really?
I went from the best year of sales to the worst year of sales ever in just a few months. 1 year, 2019 to 2020.
Yeah.
And
Crazy. I mean, it was.
then when things open up again, well, I thought, okay, this is going to be as it was, but it never was like it was before. And then the drum brand grew too much, and I decided to close the physical location in 2023. And now I'm dedicated almost 100% to make drums, but I also have a cymbal brand that is Groove Cymbals, and I also have a drumstick brand that is Groove Drumsticks. So I have the three things: Groove Drumsticks, Groove Drum Company, and Groove Cymbals. The cymbals work very well here in Portugal. I developed them here in Portugal. They are made in Turkey. But the drums I make myself here from scratch, from pressing the plywood to molding to finishing to everything is made here, unless the hardware and the heads, of course. But everything is
Really?
made by myself.
How do you learn to make drums? That sounds amazing.
I came from a family that my grandfather was a woodworker, and I love motorcycles and being in a garage and with tooling and all of that. And I decided to try to make a shell, and it worked fine. But I tried to develop that technique and make two snare drums, and I sold them 5, and I sold them 10, and I sold them, and I thought, okay, I have a business here. Maybe I should invest on this, and it's been growing up since then, and developing new techniques and new finishes, and every day I learn something from my work and get a lot of feedback from my artists and drummers and all of that. And I love what I do. I if you tell me to be sitting on a coffee shop or making drums, I rather prefer making drums all the way. I
It
love
sounds
what I do.
amazing to me. I think
Yeah.
I want to know how to make drums and quit my first job. It sounds absolutely amazing. Not only music, but also something creative with your hands is just incredible.
No, it's amazing to see the veneers when they arrive, just thin veneers like paper, and then when you see a drum set made, it's an amazing sensation, of course. Yeah.
Do you have a particular do you source the wood locally, the plies locally, or
It's not easy to get A grade veneers in Portugal because most veneers are to make doors and furniture and all that. So I usually buy to Poland, I buy to Italy. So I only use A grade veneers. Every single ply of my drums is A grade veneer. I don't use an A grade veneer in the outer ply and the inner ply, and I use B or C grade veneer in the middle. It's everything is A grade veneer.
right? And what is your most sort of what ply do you use the most, or what wood do you go for the most?
I use and right now I'm using more and more maple
Yeah,
because it's like I love walnut, I love babinga, I love mixing those woods and but right now in the drumming world was always maple or birch or maple. So it's very
So you
difficult
think
for to try to give a customer a different thing. So people have been asking me more maple than ever, but it's European maple, not North American maple.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I love the mixing woods. Like I've made a snare drum a couple of weeks ago that was walnut mahogany, 50/50, and it worked amazing. But the biggest secret from making drums, making shells, it's the wood grain, cross laminating the plies. That makes a lot of difference. That's not DW thing. That's a drum
Yeah.
thing. It's real. It's not just talk. So if I put more vertical plies than horizontal, or if I put more horizontal or vertical, that makes a lot of difference on the drum tone, on the bottom end of the drum, on the overtone. It's really crazy to learn that thing, and I usually write everything down when I
Yeah.
make something. Yeah, when
Here's a
I discover something.
yeah,
here's a
you try
geeky.
something new. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, just a geeky on that, on just a geeky drum question or shell
Yeah, of
building
course.
question. Where do you sit on the uh hot, cold, the hot press? So put them in the hot and then making them cold again. I can't think of the right words, but there are
Yeah.
some companies that you know go straight from hot straight to cold, and some that say no.
No, for the thing with the hot is that the glue crystallizes much more faster, and when you have to make a lot of drums per day, that's the way they have to make them.
Yeah,
Usually, my shells stay on the mold for 24 hours. So
right.
if I just have one mold per size, so I cannot make more drums than those that are on the mold right now. Understand
Okay.
that?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the thing with the cold mold process that I use, and I don't press the shell from the inside to the outside. It's just clicking, just like British Drum Company does. I
yeah,
click the plies also. Is that the glue cures naturally, and the tone of the drum becomes much more straight. It's like a tune, not a twang. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just speaking drumming language like
Yeah, it's
pow
fine.
pow.
We can speak drumming language for
But it's
sure.
not that wow that usually you hear when you try to tune a floor tom or something, and you have to put a lot of gel and rings and
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
to calm down the floor tom. That doesn't. You can tune one of my drum sets without putting anything on top. And the other thing is that I have downsized molds, downsized, just like the old premiers.
Right. So you
So that
mentioned
so
you
the
mentioned
Remo head just fits perfectly, and that's a big issue in most drums is when you put a Remo head on top, it just don't touches the edges, just dropping. You have to put tension on it so it can fit, and
yeah.
that makes a lot harder to tune a drum set.
Yes, I have a problem like that in one of my. Well, I've got some real problems in mine. I've got some pre-international Premier Olympic drums, so you can
Yeah,
only get certain heads for them. And I've got some that I've wrapped myself that I think I might need to sort out the edges a bit better. But yeah, so like so yours going down the Keith Keogh kind of,
yeah.
and I say that I know he's no longer British Drum Company, but he was very vocal. He said to me before about how he
Yeah,
doesn't agree with the change
yeah.
in
If
temperatures.
if for me is my drum shell hero. and I struggled a little bit on the beginning of making my own shells. And I spoke to Keith, and he helped me a lot. I can say that. So thank you,
Yeah.
Keith, because he helped me a lot, passing some information that he doesn't have to pass, but he helped me a lot to develop my thing, and I'm very appreciative of that help that he gave me. And I love what he does, because he is no longer making shells, I believe. Yeah.
No, he's now making Dr.
Yeah,
Listens.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it last time. Yeah.
I have
That's
one
it.
prepared. But also he made this. So
Oh
that,
yeah.
well, he made the shell. So my the kit I make, so I bought shells from Keith in 2015
Okay.
when I went to my first drum show, which was the London Drum Show in 2015. So it's funny you say that you started 2015. That was kind of when I got like an injection of new life into drumming, and around that time I mean I was already interested, but when I went to the show it was like, yeah, that was a big boost. But that was just before BDC came in, and Keith, well, there was a few shells on sale on a certain auction website, and I happened to come across them, and it happened to be Mr. Keith. So basically I bought, I think I bought 10 7, 12 8, 14 14, 20 14, and 14 5.5 from him, all maple. His shells, he did the bearing edges, and it came to me, and then I built it as I oiled it and did it as a natural one. And then after a while I got bored of it being natural, and I wanted Benny Greb version of the kit. So I bought the sizes actually for Annika, to be Annika's sizes, because at the time that was her kind of Mapex sizes. And then I had to get another shell that was a 10 by 8 so I could have Benny sizes, and then a 16 by 14. Anyway, I went a bit crazy on that. But I got Preston at Tiki Drums, as we mentioned earlier. I got he wrapped it for me.
Okay.
So that's one that
I had the opportunity of playing Premiere kit made by Keith, because I believe he worked for Premiere for some time.
Yeah, he was the master builder for some time.
And they sounded amazing. They sounded amazing. I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I was hanging out with Keith the other day, Friday at in Norwich. There was an event on in Norwich, and I was hanging out with Keith, and I've asked him to come in on the podcast as well. So he's going to come in soon.
That's great.
And he gave me a T-shirt, which is really cool. Not just his T-shirt; it was one of these ones, you know. One of the Dr. Listens T-shirts, and my boy got one. Bless him. So yeah, Keith will be coming in. So we'll mention you. And it's nice actually, and a little bit surprising for me to be sitting here talking to somebody in Portugal who knows all these people that are in either America or I'm not saying that why wouldn't you, because you're in Portugal, but you know Keith, you've spoken to Keith, you knew of Preston Prince at Tiki Drums, you know, obviously you've made it your business.
I'm always interested on the things that are happening on the drumming business, but aside, not that those big brands I like to see, of course, but I played I was an artist for Canopus Drums for some time, for some years.
Yeah.
And I always loved to play things that were different. Canopus, I played Anatolian cymbals, I played so I always love to try things that are outside the mainstream brands. And I learned a lot from playing those brands to give to come that expertise to my own brand. I learned a lot from Canopus Drums. I learned a lot from Keith helping me. I learned a lot from playing different kind of kits, from opening hundreds or thousands of kits that I sell at the shop at the time. So that gave me a lot of open-minded to everything that each brand was doing. Mapex was doing, Pearl was doing. So I always saw the bearing edges, the plies, the finishes, and that gave me a nice background to bring that to my own brand. So I learned a lot from them, and I love all brands. I have my own drum brand, but I always love anything drum related. I always like to try everything and speak to the people that make the drums. I believe that we all together have something to bring to the table. Then uh, doing, oh, you're doing that, I will make that
Oh
also like you did. Yeah.
yeah.
So that happened to me, and it's a crazy story because I started make the kit that I sell the most is our pancake series kit. That it's a kit that you can take everything inside the bass drum. And then Tama appeared with a similar kit that costs, like, it's made in China, of course. It costs like less than half of mine, and I just stopped almost selling those kits, and because of the price. The price is the thing. People, of course, look at the quality and the sound, but pricing is always the thing that will be the commanding everything. So since Tama appeared with that kit, we just stopped almost selling those pancake kits. We still sell it to a person that wants something really well made and with a great sound, great quality, with warranty and all of that. But that happened to us, and that's a thing of the business. We cannot escape from it. So that's the story, because we sold like 10 to 20 kits per month, and then we just started selling one or two. So yeah, that's it. That's not a thing that we can protect with a patent or something, because a drum is a drum and a cymbal is a cymbal. So there's no way to protect it. So it's
No,
yeah. And what kind of drama buy your costume kits? Like, I'm talking about,
Sorry.
like, what kind of drama, like, is your customer? Like, do you have people from where in the world? Or
no,
are they people
the 90% of what I do is to export.
to export from where? But like Europe
And the number one country where I sell the most was or is, I don't know what I'm telling right now, because since President Trump decided to speak about tariffs, we just went down again. But the number one country for our sales was always the USA.
And do you think it's people that want a second or third kid and they just want something completely different? Do they know what they want? Do they know exactly? Because I look at your website and everything looks
because
beautiful, but I would not
there's
know
a few of custom drum companies in the USA, but I don't see many that make their own shells. I see.
So they want something really special, something that
there's some that use Keller, and they are mostly into finishes and sizes, and the customer can choose, but it's more design wise, not much about the sound. With me, they search the sound. Yeah, they search the sound with me. They say, okay, I want the toms to sound this way, the floor toms to sound this way, the bass drum to be. Can I have a birch bass drum with a bobinga floor toms and maple, and everything is possible. So I believe that people are looking, when they contact us, for something really different, made in house, and they are really happy to speak with the person that makes them.
So they know what they want, and they know
they
want something very.
And then I always send
homemade.
pictures and videos of the process, cutting the veneers, pressing, and people love that thing, because it's an history of their own drum set. So it's
the anticipation.
Did
it take you long to make? Did they take long to make? Since
it depends on the kit. When I do an eyeglass finish is the worst best finish to make, because it takes a lot of weeks to make a good eyeglass finish, not that factory look. It's really an eyeglass, a mirror-like finish, and that is very laborious and tedious to make, to give coats and coats of gloss each day and sanding between and then polishing everything. But usually I can make like 2 kits per week.
And it's still quite a lot of work, but yeah.
A lot of work, yeah. But 2 kits per week, I can do it. But it really depends on the finish, as I told. Because if the customer chooses like a wrap finish, I can make the shells, wrap them, cut the edges, make the holes, and put the hardware, and it's done. But when I make an eyeglass finish, it takes a lot of weeks to finish it correctly and precisely. Yeah.
I'm a little bit in love with the pink oyster pancake kit you've got there. I've seen that wrap.
Yeah.
I've seen that wrap
I-
at maybe the same place that you get it. I don't know where you get your wraps, but I get mine from ST Drums usually. And
Yes, I bought that wrap from ST Drums. Yeah.
yeah, I
That
saw
pink
that wrap
oyster
at
wrap,
ST
yeah.
Drums,
I bought that. Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, I want that. Because it's got. I mean, it says pink oyster. It doesn't.
Yeah, I
Is it?
used the name. I used the name that was on the website, so it's pink oyster.
Yeah. I mean, this is an ST Drums antique white. That one,
Oh yeah.
Delmar wrap. But I saw
Oh,
that
yeah.
on ST Drums and thought, yeah, that looks nice. And I've noticed, and I've bought wrap before, and I've bought it since like Brexit. And I think you've got to make a drum or build a drum to appreciate what's involved or how much. I mean, I don't mean even the shell. So I'm talking about having a shell pretty much done, but then having to finish it and turn it into a drum from a hoop to a drum, and the cost of the things to buy to make it work, it is unbelievable. I mean, if you're buying it, the difference. I think when I bought my wrap before Brexit and when I bought it afterwards, I think it was almost £200 more with the import tax and everything. Which
Yeah.
I got stung, not stung, but I realised, oh, there's another £80 I've got to pay before I collect it.
Yeah.
And then when you start buying lugs, now you can look and you can get lugs cheaply, lug boxes and hoops and things, but they're not particularly good. And then they're cheaply made. But to buy the hardware for a normal person trying to build a drum, it is, it's not cheap. And that's before you've put the heads and the snares on and all that. So
Right now it's crazy. Even drum heads are at a crazy price. Absolutely crazy. 5-piece kit in a Heaven's head, and I have the discount from Evans, of course, because I work with them, and it's like €400 just to put Evans heads. €400. It's the price of a snare drum.
That was what I was thinking.
Just to put heads on a kit, and then I have always to sit every day making my own accounts to see what I'm going to buy, because I have to buy precisely, because I have to buy wood, I have to buy glue, I have to buy lacquer. You can imagine it's every day I have to buy something, because I make the shells from scratch. So it's a crazy. Then you have a router bit that breaks, and you have to buy another one, and then the air compressor just goes crazy, and you cannot work without an air compressor, so you have to buy another one. But lugs, hoops, tension rods, everything, it's crazy. And the wrap that you were talking about is so expensive. It's crazy. I usually also buy from Precision Drum Company in the US.
Yeah.
Some custom wraps, and we pay here when it arrives here. We pay 38% of taxes.
30%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's it. Because I see many people speaking about tariffs and taxes and all of that, and usually my US customers pay like 15%. And if I order something from the US, we pay 38%.
Crazy.
So you see that I have to make 38% of profit to pay that thing that I bought. Then I have the taxes from the invoice. Then I have the taxes from the company. It's a crazy process. It's not making drums without a company like many people make, just like a hobby. This is a company. The Groove Drum Company is a company. We have taxes to pay. We have taxis to deliver to the government. We have crazy things every single day. So for me, it's a crazy gymnastic thing to manage everything every day that I have to buy, because the money on the account goes like this, and the other day was like that, and it goes like this and like that, and it's very difficult, and to not to be connected to asking money from a bank or something. We don't.
Yeah.
We usually just use our own money, because I don't want. And we usually buy everything prepaid. That's a thing that since 2009, I always said to myself that I was going to buy the things that I have money to buy, not like 30-day payment and 60-day payment. Still today, 16 years have passed. I still buy everything before hoarding, not using credit at any time, because I know that life changes in a minute,
Yeah.
and you are okay on one day, and the other day you are not okay, and I have to be very conscious of every single step that I make every day.
Do you do everything yourself? Or do you have anyone working
Yes,
with
I have
you?
my wife working with me, so we're
Oh, that's
just
nice.
two people here working at the company. Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, one of the ideas of asking you to come onto the podcast is because the purpose of this podcast, it kind of has a different purpose depending on the episode, I guess. But as a rule, it's about talking about stuff that drummers want to talk about, but also about highlighting products or businesses or events and things that are going on, so people can get to know. Now, there's lots of podcasts around. There's lots of internet options, like all the social media, obviously. But sometimes I'm quite surprised at the lack of. I think there's loads of information out all the time. We should all know about stuff. Probably because I spend far too much of my life on that stuff, watching and knowing and being obsessed about it. But I am quite surprised sometimes how people haven't heard of something or don't know things. So if we can help in some way, and it's not like we've got, millions and millions of followers or what have you, or listeners, but if we can, highlight uh, Groove Drum Co, then you know, if someone goes, oh, do you know what? I've been interested in that. I've seen them popping up. Now I've heard this guy. I want to place an order. I want something, because I suppose your market might be people that have obviously got some income that they can spend it on their drums. It's not a starter kit. You're not in that tornado market, dare I say it, God. But you're in the, that. I think if you were as a shop, as in a tailor or something in London, you'd be, like a high class tailor where you go and get made to measure. You measured up and you get a cup of Earl Grey or a cup of tea or whatever offered to you, and you spend the whole day in the place getting the service. So that's this kind of end market that I think you seem to come across from your site and the products. And actually, it is tempting to go and get mass-produced things, and it's easy. And unfortunately, the society are very impatient people. Like, we don't have to say that. We don't have to advertise that other company that everyone buys from that gets stuff delivered within minutes. But we've all become a bit like that. And we've become impatient, and we lose that personal touch. So hopefully, and I think things go round and round like drums do. I don't think they go round and round, but they go on forever, which is why I wanted to call myself Infinity Drums, because they go round. But the the point is things go round in circles. So we know that things aren't great at the moment when it comes to like Brexit, or when it comes to finances and tariffs, and wars and all that stuff that's going on. But I do hope that we can keep the faith, and that people can survive and ride the storm, and this drums are the oldest instrument. Well, the voice is the oldest instrument, okay, but drums is a pretty old instrument,
Yeah.
and we just need to make sure that it continues. And I see so much excitement and energy around the drumming industry, mostly from the end users, because the professionals or people involved that are reps or that salespeople or that company, they're often like, yeah, it's not as good as it looks, because they got the reality of running the business and the pressures of sales and the costs of rising costs. But just hiding that for a minute, that reality, and just thinking about the good stuff. I hope that things like podcasts, things like drum clinics, and artists that inspire music, because it's all about music. And if we didn't have music, we wouldn't need to have instruments.
That's it.
You know, so we have to remember why we do this. I mean, today I've just been playing, I haven't played a video for ages, and I just randomly put Spotify on, found this track by someone that's apparently really famous, according to all my friends that are under 30. And so I sort of jammed along to this track, and I'm just producing a little video, and I'll just knock it out. And it's a quick win. I've just heard it for the first time today. I haven't really practiced it, but I get that kind of excitement and energy, and I just need to revitalize myself a bit. But it is about music, and if we've got music and we've got instruments, and we've got people like yourself that are making bespoke or classy, high-end quality instruments, then long may it shall last, I should say.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing very well the acoustic drum business right now, because I see a lot of drum shops closing. I see some brands closing also. But it's like you said, maybe it's a way around thing that. But in the last year, they tried to really push the electronic things, the electronic drums. We have a big drum, the biggest drum show, and the only drum show we have in Portugal is the Porto Drum Show. And I saw a lot of pushing from the new Zildjian electronic kit, the new Geva electronic kits, a lot of electronic kits everywhere, and a few acoustic drum kits in the show. So, but I believe that from the price that is too high, and from the drummers that are a little bit more old school, I believe most of drummers like to play acoustic drums. So
Yeah.
I believe that there's a niche market for electronic drums to play at home and all of that. They sell a lot of them, but to make music, live music, acoustic drum is acoustic drum. So
I don't think that will go. I mean, at
that
home, that's acoustic. Sorry, it's electronic, because I have no choice. I'm in the center of London. It's impossible.
of course, yeah.
But of course, I have my bag there with my snare and my cymbals, and I take them to studio when I go somewhere.
And I believe that
it's
electronic drums don't teach very well about rebound and all of that,
It's horrible.
because they.
Doesn't matter how high end they are.
Yeah,
I think they're all bad at that. There's no
I
way.
just tried an electronic kit a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, my doubles are amazing! What did I do?" But I then realized that was a lot of rebound helping me out instead of making in a pillow or on a floor tom. That is much more difficult. So yeah.
I know. I mean, I think it's practicality, and the people that I know that have electronics, they also have acoustic. It's very few people that only have electronic. It's just they have an additional electronic at home for playing. I mean, I play sometimes at 6 a.m. when I wake up, and I can do that, but I couldn't do it on acoustic. But I guess I never heard of anyone like, "Oh, I don't need acoustic drums." I don't think that exists. At least,
and it's the thing about
it doesn't exist.
And the amazing thing about an acoustic instrument is that the way you use the stick on it, you change the sound and you change the pitch, and you can give your own personality to the instrument. Which an electronic kit, even with those free zones and all of that they make, it's not the same thing. It doesn't have that magic that an acoustic instrument has.
It has a limit, so it's 127 or whatever the limit is for the volume. So I work. I don't know if I've told you that, but I work in on a Saturday. I work in a pretty well-known music shop, and I work in the drum department on a Saturday. I took this job a couple of years ago, following not getting a job that I applied for that I wanted, and I was a bit not annoyed, I was a bit disappointed. So I thought, you know what, I need to do something to cheer me up in music. So I took on there was a weekend job, 1 day a week, drum specialist. I thought, well, that's me, I'm a drum specialist for this shop, and I work in there. Now that shop has had big drum department for years. In fact, it started off being owned by a drummer back in the 1964, but it's got a smaller basement. We're in the basement now. It's a smaller department. There's plenty of stuff you can order through us, all the major brands, but in the actual shop in the drum department downstairs, it's the only kits we have set up are electric. And to be honest, most of the market I see on a Saturday, because I see like the weekend, the shoppers, like the parents mostly with the kids, and they come in, and it's all electric. And I have to say, I hear myself saying, when they don't know what a hi-hat or a snare drum is, or what's that bit called, the head.
At least they ask.
When they don't know some stuff, and I shouldn't be mean, but when they don't know some basic stuff like that, I think, really, if I sold you a cheap drum kit, I don't think I'm helping you, because you're not going to know how to tune it. It's going to sound awful.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you as much as that kit costs to buy decent heads to rehead the whole kit, as you said. And let's don't even get started on the cymbals that come with the kit, because we all know, to be honest, that the cymbals are the thing. I mean, you can't change the sound of a cymbal, really, not without a microphone and compression and whatever. But in the acoustic world, you can't do anything really with a cymbal. So, like, by the time that they've spent all this money on this kit, it does mean that for under £500 in some, or under 1,000 at least, but you can get a kit that sounds good every day, in every weather, in every room, the same, and it will maybe inspire the kids to play along and to to continue. And I'm hoping that it doesn't put them off, because also, if you're drummers, I don't know about you, but I remember coming out of the bottom of the garden, when I've always had a shed at the bottom of the garden since I was little, which is ironic that I've got one now and it's a bit more substantial than my old ones. But I'd come out and I'd be like, oh, oops, sorry guys, have I just like upset the entire street? Because it was like literally a wooden shed, normal shed. And so if you start thinking, I can't play because I'm making too much noise, I'm upsetting people, or you get shouted at, then it puts you off. And then you're just shooting yourself in the foot, really, because now the drummer that was going to be a drummer takes up the keyboard, because he can put headphones on, or she can put headphones on, and it's quieter or whatever. Or another instrument that doesn't make so much noise, or is easier to carry around. So I think there is a place for electric drums. And I do totally get, and the thing I say to my customers is, you see how he's hitting that now? If he was hitting a real kit like that, A, he would damage his ears. B, you wouldn't like it and you wouldn't let him play that loud. Your neighbours would complain. If he was on stage with the band, he wouldn't be very popular. If he did that, if he did it at school in an echoey room, it's going to be horrendous. So
that's the thing that also worries me a little bit in this new generation, because I have a kid that is 12 years old. This new generation is a little bit staying in the sofa, or okay, I will play a little piano, but drums, it's a crazy animal, because you have to know how to tune them, but you have to know how to make them sound good with your hands, because 80% of a good drum sound for me is in the hands. Because I have this story that happened to me a lot in my drum shop when I have the physical location, is that I always had all the drums there tuned, ready to play. And then a customer went there and asked me to play the drums, and I was seated on my desk, and then he started playing. I was like, whoa, what happened to that kit? I had it tuned. It sounds awful. Then that customer went away, and another one came and asked me to play the same kit. And then that guy made the kit sound like heaven. So I realized that hands and the way you hit them and the way you use your strength and knowing the kit that you are playing, the limits, because that happened to me a lot with my cannabis kits. Most thin shelled kits have a limit. When you hit them very hard, they start giving a lot of overtones. And that happened to me a lot with the cannabis kit. When I hit them super hard, they don't give me the best sound that I wanted. So, but that's the story, is that the hands make a lot of difference with a kit. I have a lot of drumming friends that can make a bucket and something sound great because they have that knowledge of how to attack the instrument the best way to take the best sound of it.
Yeah. A good example on YouTube, which is, if it's still up there, I'm sure it is a video I saw when Benny Greb had hair. I still didn't, by the way, but he did. I saw him playing before he was super big famous. I saw him playing on a SpongeBob kit, not because that was his kit, but that was just a bit of a joke in one of the videos. But he played on the SpongeBob kit, and it sounded amazing with that little cymbal on the stand. It didn't sound amazing, but he made it sound musical.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And
That's it.
And I think that is a really good. If you search that YouTube video, Benny Greb SpongeBob kit.
I have to do it now.
I'm sure it's. I'm sure. I hope it's still there. It's a bit grainy. It's an old video, you know. But yeah, and I think, do you know what? Even Eddie Thrower came into our shop and he was playing on the VAD 507 Roland kit, and his son's in the corner playing on another little Roland kit, and I'm having a conversation with someone else, and Eddie, you know, the size he is, it's quite a low ceiling in there, to be careful. He is just going 100 miles an hour, but you wouldn't know it. It was like a ballerina going 100 miles an hour because he was, and I wasn't hearing what he was hearing in the cans, but he was enjoying it, bouncing around the place. We could have a conversation next to it, and then you'll get someone that comes in that is 100% every hit, which will do their elbows in. They won't learn dynamics and all those sort of things you were sort of suggesting about learning on the electric kit. You get full sense of security with the rebound. But Eddie made it sound actually quite a pleasant experience to listen to the kit on an acoustic basis on the electric kit. And we all know that electric kits acoustically don't sound that nice, especially the rubber cymbals. So, but yeah, he made it sound great because that's Eddie Thrower. You know.
Yeah, they have that experience, those countless hours practicing. Maybe I have a guy in Portugal that always practiced on the worst kit he can get.
Oh.
Because he wants to force him to learn how to take a good drum sound from a bad kit instead of playing a 5,000 kit. That's a great thing to make, because you go touring around the world, and sometimes you don't have the time or to tune them properly or to get the kit you want to play, and then you can adapt easily because you are used to play on not such a good kit, and that makes you play better, I believe, because drum sound wise, because you know how to take a good drum sound out of not a so good kit. That's a great
great
thing.
philosophy. It sounds like
Yeah.
it is.
It is.
I remember him playing a bad kit and a mirror on the side, so you can see his posture.
Yeah.
When playing.
That's,
Yeah, so he always was like this, watching where the hi-hat hand was, the snare hand was, not being too far away from each other, looking at the mirror, and playing countless hours, studying countless hours, because playing drums is different from studying drums. I believe that you see it on a drum set playing, it's not the same thing as you do like 1 hour doubles, 1 hour paradiddle, 1 hour double paradiddle, 1 hour groove. That's what makes an excellent drummer. I believe so, because you then go to a studio recording it. Every single snare beat is like this, not one like this, one like this. Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's studying drums instead of playing drums. It's different.
Yeah, I
The
mean
mirror
that.
thing. I see a lot of people with the mirror. I think it's a good idea. I never tried, but the only thing I try is recording a video, and then the first few times you look at it, like, oh, I can't look at it. Oh my god, am I moving like that? This is ridiculous. But it gets better. I don't know if you get used to it, or it's just actually you consciously try to get your posture and your movements a little bit more musical.
Yeah, because it's very important,
like
the
dancing,
posture,
you know,
and
rather than just
yeah,
playing.
your back, your arms, where you are, because
Exactly.
many drummers have a very bad posture, and that also gives a lot of health issues with that, and it's not good. But it makes a lot of difference. The height of the how you sit high or low, where
That's
your
very
hands
high.
are. Yeah, that's makes a lot of difference. Yeah.
I can use anything at all. I don't mind how it's set up. I can try apart from the throne. It has to be high. If it's low, I just walk out. I can't.
Okay.
I just like I
Yeah.
spend hours whacking the
Yeah.
throne.
Yeah.
If I can't put it up, it's the only thing. I need to be really, really high and sitting in the edge. But the rest, I don't mind. I just adapt. But
Yeah.
I can totally get
to
that.
I went to a jam, the first jam I did after, first time playing in public in 20 odd years, which was not long, a couple of months ago. And the guy is a lovely guy. His snare drum is always really low. And my uncle, who I look up to quite a bit, he is taller than me, but I look up to him. He was always old school. So his drums were like up here, not tip away like Buddy, And anyway, I played two songs, and I was a bit, I hadn't thought about it, didn't think about it at all. Just play two tracks, two songs, and then got off and thought, wow, I did it. This is like 20, 30 years down the line. I can't even remember when 94, 95, whenever it was. I last time I played. And wow, the next couple of days and for the next week, I got the biggest bruise on my leg here. Right, at the top, where my this part of my hand was hitting myself. I didn't even notice, and I used to get that a lot when I was younger. I remember when it was set badly, but the bruise was massive, and it was like literally like I'd been beaten up, and it was there for at least a week, and I thought, right, next time that snare drum's coming up, so every time I go, I bring it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't adjust his seat, but I just bring the snare drum up because it was just too low, But the posture, I'm
if you
terrible
can
at that.
make it change, because sometimes it's too tight or broken. Because
No, this guy's it's got decent.
when you go to a place like that.
No, it was decent stuff. The guy's got decent stuff, but I just brought it up,
Works.
and but yeah, I think the posture thing is. And I think the mirror idea, a lot of people, I mean, like ballet dancers and dancers have they perform in front of mirrors. And if I had more wall space in there, I probably would. I do have a mirror, but it's not good enough to sort of show that. But I often find, like you said, Aria, when I video, I have a camera looking down, and I have a camera when I have two cameras. If my hair's okay, I have a camera looking on front on. And then I get to see, yeah, you don't look very, but that's how we look at ourselves these days, which is another advantage of recording yourself, not just about what you're doing, but how you're sitting. And I do struggle with my back anyway. Have done for a long time. But we talked about not so good drums and getting not so good, getting good sounds out of not so good drums. We need to get back onto your drums because I'm just looking at your drums because they are. I'm gonna be now probably obsessed with getting one of your kits. Or
Do you want to
snare
see?
drum.
Do you want to see what I'm working on right now? I can take the
Yeah.
camera.
What have you got?
Love to see that.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Let's go. So for those of you who are not watching, we're now going to go for a little tour.
That was my dog scratching trying to get in. Anyway, there he is. Drinking.
Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
That is This is not very good radio, this, guys. But what we're looking at now is high gloss
So
and
beautiful.
Over,
a vertical
this
vertical
is
grain.
Santos rosewood.
What rosewood?
It's Santos rosewood, vertical Santos rosewood, book matched.
So beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit special. That is a
Yeah,
bit special.
Wow.
that's
That
special.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
Just
Where are
for
they
those of you that
going?
can't see it, if you can imagine like a special SQ2 finish, but like better.
Yeah, and that I will open it just for you so you can see one thing.
What is the inside?
I have matching rear rings from
Oh,
the Santos
wow.
rosewood.
Beautiful.
Wow.
So re-rings on the inside of the shell, reinforcement
Yeah,
rings.
it's a free ply shell with a free ply rear ring. It's very thin, very lightweight.
Wow. It's that kind of detail though, isn't it? And
Yeah.
when you spend money on a drum kit and you get it out of the box, there's all sorts of things that really are important. The packaging is the first thing you see. The packaging, if it's not been packaged properly or not as well as you'd expect, that's a bit of a disappointment. As soon as you see that someone's made the effort on the packaging, that's the first thing. Then when you get in, the hoops on the bass drum, if they're not finished properly, some of them are not on the inside. Some of the cheaper kits you can get are not very well finished on the inside. I always end up rubbing them down and maybe putting a little oil on them or a wax finish on them on the ones that are not expensive. But when you see the inside of the shell has had as much treatment and love has gone into it as the outside.
That's
And
it.
my pet hate when you look down the bearing edge, and I think you might know what I'm going to say. On the cheaper ones with like poplar in the middle or what have you, you see little gaps or little dinks.
That's filler they put because it opens little holes because it's not a good quality wood, and then they
Yeah.
put wood filler there just to tap them to hide them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest,
You know, when you're you have a drum shop like myself had for many years, and you sell those kits, you have two options: or you stop selling them because of that, or you sell them, or you sell them because
yeah,
most of them are like that. All the medium, low range kits come like that,
yeah,
so you don't have a choice. I had many kits that I get back to the brand so you can get me a new one, and it just comes like that again. So it's very difficult because they use low quality veneers, and it's all 45 bearing edges on the inside, on the outside. It's mass production. It's mass
mm.
production.
To talking of bearing edges, and we are getting a bit geeky for those. Hopefully, if you are listening, you are a drummer, and you might be a little bit interested in bearing edges. But do you have a preferred? Are all yours one, or is it a custom thing? What's your kind of angle? You 30, 45, round over? What?
I usually adapt the sound that the customer wants or the way I made the shell for
Yeah.
the bearing edge. But for me, the most important edge is the outer edge, not the inner edge,
Okay. Yeah.
because I have a router bit that has the same profile as I put a small piece of plasticine on a head and take it off and saw the profile. Then I got to a shop to get a router bit that was just the same profile of the head, so I can make the head sit and the outer edge touch the perfectly the inner film of the mylar of the head, because
Wow.
that's the way that it makes the shell vibrate. So you hit the head, and it takes all that power and energy to the shell.
You see, it's detail like that you're paying for, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what if you want a £500 kit, then it's probably not the place to go to. But
Yeah,
if you
if I
want
finish a
something that
kit
is,
and the head doesn't fit, I will make the edge again. Still, it's perfect. I don't
yeah,
care how many hours it will take.
yeah,
I don't care. I just need the drum kit to be perfect.
yeah. Well, I think that should give people confidence that um, that they can, you know, buy. Because a lot of the time, obviously, if you're selling to America or somewhere, they're not going to be able to see the kit in person, and you know, it's all going to be done through pictures and through communication via whatever you do, email, phone, whatever you might do. And with your pictures, I do think the pictures of the building process is a really nice history. I know that's something that DW they have taken pictures at the White Room of their kits, don't they? And they have it on file with every drum shell with like on their system, so they know that the serial number, so they know what ply. I had a DW Tom made specially for a second-hand kit I bought from Preston actually. And I made a 10 and I gave them the serial number of one of the drums, and then they were able to match everything. They actually came back and said, "Oh, your drum kit has got die-cast hoops. Do you want them?" And I went, "Yeah, it has actually. Yeah, thank you. I'll have the same, please." But yeah,
but
yeah,
my favorite my favorite edge, sorry to interrupt you, my favorite edge usually is a 30-degree inner with a round over out.
Right.
I believe I like the 45 edge that most people do, but I like the warmth and the sound that the 40 give to a drum shell.
Yeah, I don't
But
like the
usually,
sharp edge.
like on the Mike Johnson snare, I've made and I've made that a lot of not just because of Mike. I make a different edge on top and bottom because I believe that AZ a snare side head is so thin that he must have outer edge different from a coated single ply or double ply on top, because it stretches much more on the bottom because it's very very thin head. So never ever I give a lot of a larger outer edge on the snare side. Never. I always do a smaller outer edge on the snare side.
Right. Does that mean it's sharper or blunter?
Sharper.
Oh, it is sharper.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm a guy that I don't tune the reso side heads of the snares. I just pull it up till it's very stretched, not till it breaks, of course, but stretched, and then I change the tuning only on top, and I use always 2 drum keys to tune, because that way the head stretches from the middle to the tips in a regular way. If you use only 1 drum key, you're stretching the head to center to this side, and then you go to this side, and head is not stretching from the middle. It's stretching from the other part that you pulled up to the side. So a great secret for a good start of tuning is using 2 drum keys and pulling the tension up in a parallel way. That's the best way to tune anything drum related, from toms to bass drums to snares. But on snare drums, I always have the snare side head stretched, no matter if I use a low tuning on top or a high tuning on top.
Well, that's a good tip, because I don't normally do 2 keys, and a friend of mine who I worked with always did the 2 keys, and I didn't. So what I'm going to have to do now is buy another. Well, I've got a million of them, but I've got my favorite one. I've got the Remo one with the, Benny calls it the nubsy on top. So
always use heavy drum keys so you can feel the tension on your hands. If you use very lightweight keys, you don't feel it.
Yeah, I have to have the one with the nubsy on top. I'm gonna call it nubsy, Benny, even though that's his word. But the rubber bit on top, the Remo key is one of my favorite keys. So
those are great.
Yeah, they're good. Well, brilliant. So your website is groovedrumco.com.
Yeah.
And you're on Instagram?
Yes, I'm on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah. And what's your just for the listeners, so it's at Groove Drum Co.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And same for
YouTube is Groove Drum Company. Everything.
Groove Drum Company, yeah.
Completed,
yeah.
Yeah.
And Basically,
I usually do videos of every single instrument that I do. Some I don't because customers don't allow me to do that, and others I don't because I do like the pancake kits. I do hundreds of them when I sold them a lot, and one is enough, right? So I don't make
yeah,
a lot of videos. But usually you have every single drum set or snare drum in a video with the sound, and the sound is not heavily compressed or heavily changed in any way. Because I could make that like most big brands do to sound like $1 million. But I love that people can hear the true sound of the drums instead of something all mixed up.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, I
So
don't use mic by mic. I just use free overheads, snare drum mic, and bass drum mic.
brilliant. So am I right in saying this is your first podcast?
That's I was thinking of this to tell you because in the beginning of our video I was like I need to thank because it's the first time in 16 years that I'm invited to anything related to a podcast or an interview or anything. It's the first time. So
Oh
thank you.
wow. Well, no, thank
People
no,
are
I
missing out. It was fascinating and so much fun.
Thank you.
It was
no,
great.
I appreciate that, and I mean, basically, I am obsessed with this business and this and if I could, I would work in the business in the industry for full time and not have another job. But I dive into it, and to be honest, drums is the light at the end of the tunnel for me most of the time. And whether it's building drums, because I like I say, I've wrapped a few, I've renovated a few kits, I've built a few snares. And I say built, not made. I would love to, go to the whole process of choosing plies and starting from flat plies. And I mean, I've been to the Sona drum. I went to Sona factory
Yeah.
in Bad Bellberg. I've been to the Meinl factory, um, but you know, we were in Holland and we thought, oh, we're not far. It's only like 2 hours drive. So we'd organised it with a shop in the UK to go and see the guys at Sona and walk around and see them building. And I've just been obsessed with, you know,
Yeah.
building drums and it's so inspiring. And especially when they're made. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've got a lot of drum kits. And I also quite enjoy getting a good sound out of not so good drum kits and also like to test lots of different kits out. I've got some, expensive ones, um, like a broadcaster and a vintage Sonor vintage, but they are my most expensive kits. But so I don't feel I'm good enough to deserve some things like that. So I kind of like, yeah, I'll get some cheaper ones anyway. Um, but I just like to see the difference. And in this world, in this podcast, everyone's welcome. So whether you are a cheaper drum kit or an expensive drum kit, but I think it's really important that we notice people like yourselves and we highlight and introduce our listeners to your product. And the fact you're in Portugal doesn't stop the world going around. It's only
Yeah, of
across the
course.
road. Um, and I was there the other day, and it was very enjoyable. I liked it. It was a very nice place. And what was nice about going to Portugal was, well, it was the Algarve, so it is a bit of a touristy area, of course. But they had live music on in this because it was summer and it's events. But there was some really, um, it was really nice to see live music playing on the big stage and sort of covers
Yeah.
and what have you. There's a band called the Munchies. Do you know them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched them play, got their card, and they were very excited about the shop I work in. A couple of them, because they know it.
Yeah.
And there's another guy. I got the drummers. I got the drummers' details from the Munchies as well. So I was even talking about getting him in. He was quite excited about that idea. And I don't care where you are, and I don't care what it's about. I just want to like meet more people. So yeah, meeting you. And the reason we probably know about you originally was because Mike Johnston when you got the snare to him, he did a video on it, and
Yeah.
within the group, and we saw that, and it looked gorgeous. So yeah, I wanted to find out a bit more about Groove Drum Company. But you said that you're the only shop in Portugal,
I'm
drum
the
shop
only drum shop in Portugal, yeah.
in all of
Since
Portugal.
in all of Portugal.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, because we don't have many drummers in Portugal, but we have a lot of drummers that buy usually in Thomann and on those big
Oh, the
retailers.
European retailers, yeah.
It's very difficult to deal with that thing. Another thing that is not cool and it's happening a lot lately, and I'm very upset with that, is that distributors are selling directly to customers, telling that they are endorsements, but we know that it's a direct sale, and that shouldn't happen. Should be always the thing about brand distributor shop. That's the thing that should be made, not brand distributor customer. But that is happening a lot with the big brands here, and we have and that we have like imagine like we have like 1,000 drummers, and if from that 1,000 drummers 600 are endorsers of something, the shop doesn't sell at all
No.
because they buy directly to the distributor. So I believe that right now, even if I'm almost 100% dedicated to my own brands, I believe that if I still worked with the DW, Tama, all those big brands like I used to work, I wouldn't sell anything or very few, because with Thomann and the direct sale to customer, it's blowing the shops.
Yeah.
It's blowing all the shops.
Well, only this week or last week we heard that Cologne Drum Centre's shutting down in December.
42 years of history.
Yeah. Yeah, and we unfortunately we can't have a podcast episode without talking about shops shutting down, because again it is the message that I keep trying to put across, that it's so easy or lazy, depends how you look at it. It's so easy to buy from, and I won't say the company's names because I don't want to, but we all know who. It's so easy to buy from them. You can buy online, but you should be buying online from a shop. If you can't go, like we've got drummers only in Scotland, I'm not going to go to Glasgow and pick up something.
Of course.
I'm going to order it from them, but I'm going to order it from them, or I'm going to order it from Drum Shop in Newcastle, which is 5 hours away, which I have been up to, and I would go up to see my friends up there. We've got Graham Russell down in the south, which is only a couple of hours away from me. We've got, Drum Shack in London. We've got,
Yeah.
I won't go through all of them because there are still quite a few. Luckily, there are still quite a lot, but we have lost. We've got Into Music. I've got to mention Into Music because that's unfair if I don't. But we've lost so many shops recently, and you just wait. Like I said before, you wake up in the morning like we all do, pick up our phones, and we're like, "Oh,
My
another
battery
shop's
is dying.
gone."
Sorry, guys, if I disappear. I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
have a cable.
We're
I
going to
need
wrap it up in a
do
sec.
noises.
But yeah, so it's so sad. And Benny Greb said the other day, there's not a shop in Hamburg, drum shop in Hamburg.
Yeah.
So it's not it's just not unique, is it? And hopefully we can, like I say, ride the wave and keep it.
For me, it's been very strange because in these 16 years of drum shop, I never felt great support of the most technology and known drummers in Portugal. Never felt that. I don't expect them to buy things, but just to went to the shop, speak a little bit, maybe play something and make a small video. I never had that kind of support from the most well-known drummers in Portugal. I never understand that very well. Why? Because I see like the Hollywood drum shop, like the Pro Drum Shop, and I see a lot of the biggest stars in the drumming world go there and speak a little bit with the owner that has an amazing history, and make a small video just to put online, and that helps a lot of those small businesses, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a way of people, the younger guys see, oh, okay, that well-known drummer just went to that small drum shop, played a little bit, maybe I will go there and know the guys. And that's we are losing that intimacy, that thing that you go to a drum shop, you speak to a guy that understands your everything that you need, understands the market,
Yeah.
knows the brands, know everything. And when you buy something from online, big online retailer, you don't have that kind of advice, that kind of empathy. That I believe that
Yeah.
and that everything is being very far away uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
from
It's
people. People are going very far away from each other right now.
yeah, it's very much detached, and a lot of people say it to me in the shop. It's nice to come in. I wouldn't know how to search this or Google this. It's nice to be able to ask someone who knows.
Yeah.
And because I'm the oldest one in the shop, if someone comes in and says pre-international heads, they just point them to me. Or if someone says anything about, oh, you got any Ajax or whatever,
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
old, they're like, oh, the old guy over there. But I think that people love it when you actually they can see the person they're talking to is passionate about it. Um, and actually, on Saturday, we had a guy come in who knows you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know,
Now,
I know. He sent me a message. It's Rodrigo, right?
yes. Oh, she's gone.
Yes.
Bye. Oh,
Bye
Ari's
bye,
gone.
Aria.
Yeah, she did warn us her battery was going. Um, yeah, so he came in. He was asking. He had a he wanted a clamp for like a sample pad for a little gig, and we worked out. Anyway, somehow, I don't know, but I chat, so I just got a message from Maria that I'll be saying good night.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so he came in and laptop died. Yeah, good night from Maria. Um, he I thought it was American actually, sounded American, but then we
He's
talked about Port.
Brazilian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Portugal, and I said, oh, uh, I think he said, oh, there's a guy who makes his drums in. He said it, and I went, oh, you mean Groove Drum Co. Well,
Yeah.
Louis, he's like, yeah, it's like, how do you like? It was really weird. Like this old guy in the basement in this in this music shop in the drum department knows you. I said, well, actually, I'm about to do a podcast with him.
Yeah.
So I gave him
You
the
bought me many years ago. You bought me a DW performance kit when
right.
they arrived first time, a blue one. I don't know if he still has that kit.
Well, he took a picture of my Drum Shed podcast business card so he could get the QR code.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe he'd follow us. But get him a message back. This will go out. We'll put this out. It's a bit longer than normal, but we could just go on forever. We will have to stop it so we don't make it too difficult for people to listen to.
No
But
problem. Let's do it.
we are we quite often we do sometimes do two-part episodes because it's like sometimes it's 2 hours or so. we we've had Ron Dunnett in as well before,
Yeah.
and so I want to get now with you, and we'll have Tiki in as well, and Keith. I always call Preston Tiki. It's a bit silly. It's not his name.
Yeah.
um
I love that you have a independent podcast, because usually the guys that start a podcast or start a drum channel, they usually get endorsed quickly by any brand, and then they stop to be independent on that way. So I'm very happy that you are independent.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt I'd ever get endorsed, but I mean, or the podcast would. I mean, I'm pretty open about how obsessed I am with Meinl. I can't really help
That's
that.
amazing.
I've been out there to the festival. I'll be going next year, and I've been out there on my summer holiday, and actually went, and that's when I went for the walk around with them and did the factory tour and stuff. And yeah, I pretty much yeah, obsessed with that company. But do you know what? It's actually because the people that work for them, like the reps
Yeah,
are
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
The other day, my car broke down. I was at a gig, and what the rep, Joe, uh, Joe Russell, was like, "I'll give you a lift," and to go and get my car. It was, that.
I believe that a brand without a good person is for me. I will not work with it, even if you have a great product.
No,
I believe that it's like a drummer. You can be the best drummer ever, but you have an awful personality. I won't look at you at all.
no,
At all.
no.
And
I
I
get
have a
it.
few, and I had a few here in Portugal that they are difficult people. Difficult people.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? It's a bit of a letdown. I mean, even like the guys in the UK of mine who are great, but I've met, I'll give them a shout. Reinhold, Alex, Oliver, Norbert, Udo. They're all just lovely people, and
Yeah, of course.
they have time for you, and they, follow you, and
It's
go
not
and
just a business, just to be profitable and all of that. It's more than that, right? It's a brand. It's
yeah,
people there that love the brand, that make their R out for the brand. That's amazing.
yeah, absolutely. I shouldn't miss off Ingrid as well. So it's been lovely to meet them, and yeah, I mean, but we are independent as a podcast. We will. There's no rules. We'll choose who we like to come on.
Yeah.
And I've got an Australian podcast guy from the Drumming Mastermind. He's coming in. I've just contacted him
Yeah.
and said, "Do you want to come in?" I've talked to another podcast in the UK called Drum and Drummer, um, because I like their stuff. It's, it's two guys chatting about their week, and sometimes it involves drums, but but it's just quite entertaining, and I got used to that. And Mike and Eddie was the one that got me into the idea of podcasts because I really enjoyed listening to their kind of friendship, their broship,
Yeah.
and that was just inspiring in itself. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've had Benny on, we've had Zach on, we've had Kristin Richard Spaven, we've had
Yeah.
lots of people. We have shops and all sorts. So um, and we've got a few more ideas of people coming in.
We
It's
love drums. We love speaking about drums. We love everything drum related. So that's
That's it. Yeah.
that's yeah.
Well, look, I'll let you go.
I usually I'm blowing off information that I would love to give about my insight of the drum building, because I believe that I have some cool curiosities about how some things uh, make the drum sound so different, or make the drum sound uh, in a way that you want or you don't want. So I have my sometimes I have my mind exploding of things to tell, and I make some videos of it. But usually when I'm editing the video, I'm just like, oh, I'm just tired of seeing myself. I'm so bored. I believe that in the second minute, someone will just change the video for someone playing the drums and not listening to me. So that I always get that thing about making super large drum videos about things.
Well, look, I mean, you're more than welcome because everyone that I speak to, we have to stop it and say, oh, well, we could go on forever. I've got a few people that I want to get back in that we want to talk again about more stuff. So by all means, you're more than welcome to come back in. And if you've got
Thank you.
ideas or a new product that you want to mention or something you want to
Okay.
promote, like a sale or something that you want to some stock you want to shift, obviously, then I'll retweet. I use the word retweet incorrectly, but I'll repost stuff as well to sort of you know help, if that helps, with my 600 or 700 or whatever followers I might have on my private account and on this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you ever want to catch up, then by all
And I
means
I'm,
catch up.
I will also gladly spread the word about your channel and your podcast. You can make collaboration in Instagram or
Yeah,
any place that we can help you out, so you can
yeah,
grow and grow
cool.
each day. So I will be here always to help you out. No problem.
Oh well, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I think we're going to get a few people asking questions, and you know, maybe we'll do one with you and Keith,
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
get some a
Yeah,
drum builder special.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So yeah, we're on our
He's
second season.
I consider Keith my mentor. My mentor. He's
Right.
my
Well,
mentor.
we'll
Yeah.
get him in. Maybe get you in as well, special guest.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, look, best luck to you. If there's anything that you forgot you wanted to say, then by all means, we'll do it again another time. So as soon as I get it out, I'll give you a heads up. We will put this on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But generally, most people will listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever
Okay.
other format. They can't get away from us, you see, when they're driving. They can just listen instead of like flicking
That's
over and
amazing.
watching someone playing the drums.
Yeah. They cannot. But they cannot see the Santa Rosewood kit.
They couldn't see that bit. They'd have to tune in
Yeah.
on. If you want to see the kit, you need to go on to the YouTube and see the secret the special kit we just got a glimpse of, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's the first invitation I get to speak with someone about drums in the internet.
yeah,
So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure
Obrigado.
speaking to you. Anything I can do to help you out, I'm here, and I will gladly make you a kit anytime.
Okay, it's time to say boa noite.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt, for inviting me. It was a pleasure. I had a lot of fun, so thank you so much.
Thank you, and good night.
Follow us on Instagram at the Drum Shed Podcast. Thanks for listening.